Okay, Algebra 2 people, continuing on with, I'm sorry, not Algebra 2, Geometry folks, continuing on with Quiz 4.1. Starting off with number 10, if ABC, triangle ABC is equilateral, solve for x. Well, that means that these three angles are going to be the same, so you just take 3 times that angle measurement and have it set to equal 180. Use the distributive property, isolate the variable, and you figure out what x is. Number 11, once again, pause this video as needed. And now, hopefully you'll get my clarifications and my accommodations for you. If triangle RST is isosceles, find the measure of angle S. Well, these two are going to equal each other. If this is isosceles, these two sides are going to be the ones that are going to be equal. So that means these two are equal. These two angles are equal. Set them equal to each other, solve for x. Then plug that x value back into either one of these. They're going to be the same. And you take 180 minus that amount. These two are going to be the same. Equals what's left over, which is going to be angle S. For number 12, I have a big setup here for you and an explanation. 13 is going to be very similar to 12, so I'll just read that one for you. In triangle PQR, if P, here's P, is 14 less than 5 times x, here's 14 less than 5 times x, and measure of Q is 5 less than x, here's Q, 5 less than x, and the measure of R is 9 less than twice x, here's 9 less than twice x, R. Find x and the measure of each angle. Okay, so you just add all of those angles up to equal 180. So you solve for x and then plug that number back into each expression. Plug that x value in here and you'll get the measure of P. Plug it in here and you'll get the measure of Q. Plug that x value into here, 2 times it, and then subtract 9 from it. That will give you the measure of R. You're going to do the same thing for 13. Go ahead and you could set it up. You're going to do the same thing. It's just different numbers. If triangle JKL, in triangle JKL, if the measure of J is 7 less than the measure of angle L, and M, the measure of K, is 21 less than twice the measure of L, find the measure of each angle. So the measure of L is just going to be x, and then J is going to be x minus 7, or 7 less than that x, and then 21 less than twice. Okay, so that's going to be 2x minus 21 is going to be your K. Add them all up to equal 180, solve for x, plug it back in just like you did for number 12. 14, the measure of BCD. BCD. In BCD, if BC is congruent to BD, so it's an isosceles, angle B is going to be this amount. I don't need that right now. Measure of C and D, these two, C and D, are going to be equal to each other. Is 5x minus 19, and D is 2x plus 14. Find x and the measure of each angle. So solve for x, plug it back into each of these problems so you could get the measure of B, C, and D. Go ahead and just solve for x, get x by itself on one side. And then 15, you're pretty much doing the same thing, but it's a little bit different. They give you the sides that are congruent. So if these sides are congruent, that means these angles, y and x, are congruent. So in triangle WXY, if angle x is congruent to angle y, WX is 9x minus 11, XY is 4x plus 1, and WY equals 7x minus 3. This WX and the WY are going to equal each other. That's why I have them set equal to each other. Solve for x, figure out what x is, plug that value back into each one of these so that you can get each side. You can get your WX, plug it in here for your WX, plug it in here for your XY, plug it in here for your WY, and you figure out the measure of all those. Okay? And remember, these two sides should give you the same answer. That WY is going to equal WX. All right, good luck with this test. And if you need any further clarification, please let me know.